Hello everyone, welcome back to your Eleanor, and this video we are going to explain Love Alert BL episode number 6. After the conversation with Jimmy, Tae was seen sitting absent-mindedly. He didn't even notice when Fa arrived. Fa asked what was wrong. Tae said he was thinking about his brother and got carried away. Fa asked what had happened this time. According to Tae, yesterday To went to see Jimmy. Tae didn't know what happened. But when To came home, he looked extremely exhausted. Tae felt sorry for To. And he hated seeing his brother in that condition. Just thinking about it already made Tae very angry. And he felt like he should go and punch Jimmy. Fa reminded Tae again that violence would not solve anything. The problem was also that To refused to let go. That was why Fa once said that To had to reach his limit and choose himself instead. Because that was the only way. Tae never expected that the one he cherished could be that cruel. Fa asked whether that meant Tae wanted to break up with him. Tae immediately hugged Fa and said that Fa was indeed scary, but he still loved him. When Tae tried to kiss Fa stopped him because they were on campus. At his cafe, To began thinking about Jimmy's request that he had to promise. He saw a notification on his phone. It was a call from Jimmy. To became very enthusiastic. It turned out that Jimmy invited To to eat. Because his exam was already over. He said he would treat To. To said that he should be the one treating Jimmy instead. Jimmy refused. He said it would be better if To treated him. Only if his grades were good enough. One of Jimmy's friends, Tittle, who happened to come to the restaurant, started greeting Jimmy. Tittle was introduced to To. When he heard that To was the older brother of his friend, To could only look at Jimmy. Tittle even thought that To was Jimmy's boyfriend. Not wanting too many questions, Jimmy told his friend to leave. Feeling sad, To excused himself to go to the restroom. To washed his face and reassured himself to stay strong, not to act childish and make Jimmy angry. When To returned, Jimmy saw that his face was wet and asked what happened. To said that something got into his eye, so he had to clean it. To should have told Jimmy, because Jimmy had eye drops. Using tap water would only make his eyes irritated. Because he was hungry, Jimmy invited To order food. Seeing that To was very quiet, Jimmy explained that Tittle knew Tae, and he didn't want unnecessary drama. That was why Jimmy introduced To that way earlier. Jimmy asked whether To was angry. To answered no, because he had promised not to act childish. Jimmy praised To for being so cute. Suddenly Jimmy's phone rang. It was Run calling him. Knowing that Run was having trouble, Jimmy had to excuse himself and leave. To was left behind. Run was taken to Jimmy's house. Jimmy said that Run could rest there for a while he went out to buy food. Run thanked Jimmy for allowing him to stay at his house, even though their relationship had already ended. For Jimmy, it wasn't something worth discussing, because now his house was the safest place for Run. Run didn't need to face a man like that again. To called Jimmy. He asked whether Jimmy was already home. He also asked what had happened and why Jimmy suddenly had to leave. Jimmy answered that his friend had a small problem, and now everything was resolved. To asked which friend it was and whether he knew them. Hearing To's question, Jimmy felt that To was suspecting him. To immediately said that he wasn't suspecting Jimmy. He was just worried. Jimmy firmly said that if he really needed To's help, He would have contacted Toe from the beginning. It seemed like Toe didn't trust him. Jimmy hated being suspected. And ended the call. Toe was hurt again. Seeing Run eating while enduring pain, Jimmy helped him. Run asked whether the one who had just called was Jimmy's new lover. Jimmy thought yes. Because right now there was only Toe. According to Run, Toe was very jealous. Jimmy said that Toe's behavior was probably because he loved Jimmy very much. Run asked again whether Toe would really be able to endure Jimmy. Because when they were together, even when Run was only a little jealous, Jimmy had already scolded him. For Jimmy, if Run raised his voice, he would respond with the same tone. And Run had to be able to endure it. Run should have been more patient. Because at least Jimmy had never once hit him. Jimmy told Run to rest. And said he would take care of the rest. The next day, Toe enthusiastically went to Jimmy's house while bringing food for him. But when he entered, Toe saw that there was someone inside Jimmy's house. That person was even wearing Jimmy's jacket. That's all for this part. See you in the next part. Thank you for watching. Until then, have a nice day.